Welcome back. We've got another, maybe when cheese fails, will cheese fail, normal game.
Maybe they win, maybe they lose.
We'll find out.
Maybe we talk about dropping the N-bomb again. We just don't know.
We just don't know.
We just don't. Oh my goodness, GreenCon. That is a name that we've had before.
Is it?
Pretty sure.
Okay. All right. Do your thing, Adam.
Mr. Maximus Black. I'm looking at these APM differences already. Mr. Maximus Black.
Uh-huh.
Hit me up with the sound of getting no sleep for a week and a half.
Fuck. Tired.
That's basically my life. Do we have Mandarin or Japanese meets Korean?
We have Asian symbols on the screen.
I know one of them is Korean. And it's hard for me to tell the difference sometimes.
It's probably. Oh, you know what? I think this game was called Japan versus Korea.
Oh, well then there you go.
So there it is.
Okay.
Down here in the bottom left position, we have the green Protoss TJ Dales. And up top right, we have Green Khan. And I don't even know if we have any music going. There we go. Just like that. It's got a little bit of tunes in the background. Welcome back to another episode of When Cheese Fails, Brood War Edition, Episode 2/3, the Season of All the K's.
Close enough. Oh, GreenCon. I know GreenCon. Member of my community and yours as well.
Okay. I do remember Khan.
GreenCon. Well, yeah, Khan's a Star Trek reference. At least I would figure it is. Oh, I like where this is going.
This is actually pretty standard. Usually Forge, Fast Expand against Zerg and Brood War.
But, yeah, GreenCon lives in Japan.
Cool.
He's Canadian originally, I believe, Vancouver.
Sweet.
And went over there for a while.
Does he bring a great honor?
Yes. I have no clever thing. He started up his own business for teaching English and stuff.
Yeah. I actually know. Yeah,
yes.
He hit me up on Twitter, I do believe too.
Yeah. So he's a great dude.
Sweet.
Great dude.
Happy to cast his game. There is the most random of hatcheries over here. Now I'm going to assume he put this hatchery up top left just to get fast gas, which means he's likely trying to hide what kind of tech he's going. If the Protoss notices that there is no gas, he does not need to be afraid of speedlings or hydras or anything that revolves around gas, and thus why he's going over here and getting it. Probably doesn't want to put it there just in case of a probe scout will see the ninja expand, and you're much more likely to just roll up here, see that, notice that there's no creep or a hatch there, and you're far unlikely going to go look in the corner.
It's not very likely. But hey, we've got a cannon all over the place.
Yeah, and this also looks very standard as well because in PvZ, 9 times out of 10,
is what he's saying.
You want to do a Forge Fast Expand. So the opening looks normal, but this is
That's not normal. Nothing about that is normal.
No.
You know what? I can't remember the last time that I watched a Brood War match with the Cannon Rush, let alone against a Zerg. Look at how crisp.
I will say, though, this is very, very sexy.
Look at how crisp the sprites are in this. Oh, my goodness. Ooh, he said, oh, baby, what is you doing?
Like, that looks like my asshole.
I mean, that's awfully red. You sure?
Yeah, well, it's okay. It's not that red, but that kind of looks like my hole.
Yeah. Most people.
Yeah.
You look close enough. That's an asshole.
Yep, straight up.
Absolutely. Now we see it in 4K. 4K assholes.
Best kind of assholes.
The best kind.
This game really does look incredible. It is a shame that it hasn't popped off the way I thought it was going to, even on a short-term basis.
Yeah, it's true.
But it is what it is.
I think it maybe needed a little bit longer in the spotlight with some more frequent tournament stuff earlier on to keep it up a little higher. But I think the other thing is just that
it's dated, man. It's old.
It's hard for people to get into.
It's very, very hard. And I played it basically all day, every day for the first 2 weeks that this game was out, and I still really do love it. But there are parts of this game that are almost unplayable if you're used to the AI of StarCraft 2.
You have to relearn everything.
The way things are. That's what makes it a great game, but it's also what makes it.
The barrier to entry is
very high. Even for someone like me that absolutely loves this game, my favorite game ever made, it is now very, very tough to play. And not even difficulty-wise, but just mechanically, you're just like, why? Why can't I highlight 3 hatches at once? Why do I need 6 different hotkeys to do 6 different things? Why can't I just run up a ramp or right-click on a unit? But it's just... And when you spam right-click on something, you have to wait for the attack animation to, like, finish. So if you keep right-clicking, they actually just, like, won't attack. It's like you got to let it run its course. It's so bizarre how this game works.
You really do. You have to have a pretty intimate understanding of how all of the units of the race that you're playing react in terms of their AI.
Yep.
And how they'll react in certain situations.
And it's not even consistent. Some units work differently than other
units.
units.
That's what I mean.
You have to
know them all. You have to know them all pretty intimately.
But what I do know is our Protoss player here is committing heavily to cannons, and he has no idea that up top left.
Yeah, he has no idea.
He has just rebuilt everything. Like I said, he's got the fast gas and he's long range mining until now. He has a layer going.
Yep.
So he's likely going into Mutas from here, which is basically every PVZ. What I've noticed, obviously I played a lot of Protoss and Zerg in Brood War, was played more Protoss than Zerg here recently, but something that always happens is Mutas. It's basically inevitable unless the Zerg is going for fast Hydras, and Hydras do a lot of damage. Charge lots or speed lots can really wreck Hydralisks as long as you have the right timing. Once they get a critical mass, they do so much damage. But the big thing is Mutalisks. They're a pain in the ass, and you can
really
get them
gnarly.
so fast.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a tough thing to go against.
Yeah, you only have to have a certain number of them, and they really become an absolute nightmare.
Yep. Well, think about it. The things that you're defending against Mutas are Dragoon.
Yeah.
And Dragoon are the dumbest things ever. So when Mutas are going from base to base, your Dragoons are going...
You really end up having to plant Dragoons in patrols or hold positions in very specific spots.
Yep.
To keep that up.
You need the range upgrade.
Until
you
get to high temp, and then it's a different ball game altogether. But yeah, it is a mechanically intensive thing. Not to say that balling Muta and using them appropriately. This Korean guy is just laughing consistently.
Well,
he
thinks
at our boy Green Con.
Well, he thinks that he's safe. Like he's like, oh, look at this idiot. Look how many spine crawlers he's putting up. Rip the dream. But nah. Now he's got another ninja bottom right. There's no way for me to like just see what he sees, sadly. But this is not double spire, so he's gonna get an upgrade. He might either go for double upgrades. He might also drop down a greater spire. He's gonna need that hive. But either way, at the very least, he's gonna start +1 upgrades. You're not gonna get 2 greater spires. I'm thinking it's just gonna be flat out Mutas and double pumping upgrades, and he might attack on a 1-1 timing here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any need for a greater spire, especially when you're, unless you're absolutely desperate to get rid of the cannons in that base and you need Guardian from a distance.
Yep.
So I would imagine, and even then, if you have enough Muta, you just get in, you snipe a pylon, and you get out. And
for those that don't know, Guardians are basically like the siege tank of the Zerg era.
Yeah. Super long range.
Super long range.
Slow as all hell, but super long range. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know exactly what the range number is anymore. But
it's long.
I think they're the longest distance in the game. I think for a unit.
It's pretty long.
If I'm not mistaken.
But you also do have to be careful with them too, because if you just A-move them, some of them will like start targeting these back ones or whatever,
they'll move
forward and they'll take damage. So you still have to watch out. It's kind of like the same theme in almost every unit. You really have to micromanage just about every single unit in your army.
Basically, instead of A-moving to the back side of the cannons, you A-move to somewhere around the front, and then they're gonna move to it, and then they'll just attack the closest in the front. You just have to change how you deal your A-moving.
Yep.
Where in StarCraft 2, you know that if you A-move to the back, they're gonna attack like closest unit first every time. In StarCraft Brood War, not the case. You need to be a little bit more cognizant of where you're placing your
I also just remembered that this is Brood War, and probably a lot of you guys...
You just remembered this now.
Well, a lot of you... It's dawned on me that a lot of people that are watching may have never played Brood War before.
That's entirely possible, yeah.
So there's a lot of basics that I could kind of explain while shit is going slow. Here on Protoss's side, he's got gateways, but in Brood War, there is no warp gate research. And you also cannot hotkey multiple gateways on one hotkey. So you can't just put 2 gateways on, say, hotkey number 2, and then click the Z key and 2 zealots will build. You have to manually click on each one and click the Z key for each gateway as well. Now, you can put gateways on hotkeys number 2 for this one and number 3 on that one, something that I do very often when I'm doing a 2-gate rush against another Protoss or against Terran, and that way, when you're up here microing, you can just click 2Z, 3Z, set your rally point, and they'll continue to build, instead of having them all on one and then just spamming, the Z key. That's how that's just how it works over here. With Zerg, there is no queen, so there's no larva injects. You just get your 3 larvas, and that's the show. You build as many units as you can as quickly as possible. It is as equally important as hitting your injects as it is spending your larva, because if you miss your larva, you're going to miss an entire cycle of building units, which can kill you. Just like missing larva injects. Kind of the same thing, just is much more basic.
Generally speaking, in Brood War, there are more battles. In a higher level game, there are more battles going on in more places on the map at any given time, and there's smaller skirmishes. You don't need as many units to do absolutely huge damage in this game. This is a shitload of zealots.
It's a shitload of zealots.
That's an incredible amount of sunken colonies. It's a huge amount of cannons. This is definitely 2 StarCraft 2 players that have gotten into Brood War.
Yeah.
And are adapting to that style.
Well, what happened here is this Korean guy is very, very complacent, and he's just thinks he's toying with his opponent. He doesn't have any gas.
Some fries, motherfucker!
There is no gas at all. Also, you can only put 10 units in each hotkey, so in each control group. So when you're running down with 30 different mutas, you can't just grab all 30 and go. You got to put 10 on 2, 10 on 1, 10 on 3, and move up.
Yep.
All right? That's just, it's rough. It's very, very rough.
You do have to have mechanically a lot more skill with the keyboard.
Yeah.
And the muscle memory becomes more and more important than it did before. I mean, it's just another step up from StarCraft 2. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you either are willing to put in the time to create that muscle memory, or you're not.
Yeah.
Those are your two options for all intents and purposes. You can box muta in this. And stack them up so that they all fire at once, which becomes far more deadly.
Yep.
Which we're not really seeing into place here. Now, I'm assuming, I don't know how many people out there speak both Korean and Japanese, but we've had a Korean just laughing in various forms the whole match. He looked like laughing, and then at times, for what little Korean I can read, looked like, I
have to take this call. It's just...
Looked like he was speaking somewhat formally. Yeah, I got you. And now I'm switching microphones. Oh God, this is really fast. Oh my Lord, how has Jeff been doing this? So, so that's I have no idea. Somebody in the comments can let me know what that has been about. We can translate, Google Translator up in here. So at this point, basically, it's just about slowly picking away at all these pylons and these cannons, pylons more specifically. And if he boxes these up, if he boxes all of them up, he can get rid of a pylon, snipe it, and get out. They can all attack at the same time. It's entirely possible he doesn't know how to do that, and so he's going to have to play it a little bit more safe. But yeah, very untraditional Brood War match. Normally you wouldn't see it get to this point, but yeah, TJ had enough. He knows he's lost. He's got no way to collect minerals, and so he's going to head out. And that's the show. Jeff had a very important call to take. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed another When Cheese Fails, I guess we're going to keep calling this, despite the fact that it's been kind of a mixture of. Again, check out the podcast. You can head on over to technicalalpha.audio. You can head over to patreon.com/technicalalpha. And again, for those of you who watch this that like our banter here, side B of the podcast gets posted on YouTube is basically just the kind of banter and talking about random nonsense we did here on StarCraft. And so definitely go and give it a check it out if it suits your fancy. But yeah, we'll see you on the next cast, ladies, for this limited run. Hopefully you've been enjoying it. And until we do see you, peace.